Martin and welcome to another great edition for Astronomy for Beginners. And today I'm going to do a product review for a very small company, just started up. Now I've had a few questions on the Facebook group and I've had members asking me about, can we get replacement parts for your mounts or telescopes, you know, certain things that you just can't get, especially if you've got a telescope set up and you've got a bolt that's either missing or broken or sheared or some component, some vital component that you need to enable you to use your telescope or mount. Now I've had a few people asking me, where do I go to get second-hand parts, replacements and all that. There are a few websites that you can visit, but they're very limited. Alright, and some of the prices you pay are almost a premium as well for second-hand parts. And again, people are going everywhere to get these replacement parts, and they're not easy to find. However, I was approached by this guy called Robbie, and he actually owns a 3D printer. Now, 3D printer is a new technology that's now been introduced, and a lot of people now start getting these 3D printers. Now, the good thing about he approached me to do product reviews on the latest things he's made, and I'm actually really surprised on the sheer quality and the engineering that's involved being manufactured to produce these parts, and I'm actually quite impressed with the quality, which I will show you later on in the video. So he's asking me to show a few items that he has available. Now it's just a new business that's just set up, okay, and he's only just starting to get things into place. There are no prices to be confirmed on these products he sells. Okay, so I can't confirm the prices, but I will show you a few cool accessories and gadgets that he sent me over the post for me to review and test out. But again, KT3D is the company that I'm helping to review their products. If you want to contact the actual the owner, please click down on the description below. Alright, his email is in the description, so please contact Robbie if you're really interested on these parts. And the good thing is, if you've got any queries, please contact his email address and he could actually manufacture certain parts for you. You may need to send a product or take a picture or any information provided so that he can actually manufacture the parts for you. So if there is a unique part or something or component that is damaged and is unrepairable, then he can actually make this part for you. Okay, but it's particularly aimed for like telescopes and more or less EQ mounts. Okay, but he also doesn't specialize on just replacement parts. He's also come up with some very unique ideas. So again, we're also available for the Facebook group, Astronomy for Beginners. Alright, please join that Facebook group. There's a lot of good advice there. People sharing the images, the ideas, the experiences. Please join that group. Please subscribe onto my channel. Alright, if you like my videos, please hit the like button. And again, subscribing onto my channel, hit the notifications tab. And all that's going to do is help to push out my videos out and supports Astronomy for Beginners in the process. Now nowadays, some of these videos are all based on budget astronomy. Right, that is my main focus. Push out any product reviews or any projects that are based around for beginners and within budget. Right, and that is my main concern about astronomy, is if we want to expand our interest into astronomy, why not we encourage people to take up astronomy, alright, and not scare them with budget costs and expensive mounts and all that. Right, this is not the idea of astronomy. Astronomy is much more better than that. It's not just for top astrophotographers and all that. It's for everyone, and everyone to share the interest and to enjoy astronomy for what it is. Remember that astronomy is for all. So if you'd like to find out what I've got, alright, from KT3D, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take a closer look at these products. So if you're interested, let's do this. So we're going to take a close look on the parts which KT3D very kindly sent out to me to trial test them out. Now these are prototypes, okay, so it's a company that's just set up, and as you can see, looking at the prototypes, you can see they're very good quality plastic they've used. We have the east and west modified stainless steel bolts. These are handles which you move the EQ6 mount. Okay, these are quite heavy duty. Looking at the quality on there, they've really gone to detail. Alright, very high class products there we've got there. They've used good quality stainless steel bolts and very chunky 3D printed plastic they've used. Now as you can see there, as I describe all the way through, I'll show you which each of these items will get fitted onto my EQ6 mount. The next one is they can do a series of dust caps. Here's one for the polar scope, and the good thing about this being ABS plastic they've used, alright, very decent style plastic. With this dust cap for the polar scope, there's even the part which they've made which you can shove cables through as well, so that's quite a unique little feature for a dust cap with a use, and plus it's easy to pull the dust cap instead of trying to prise it open with your fingernails. Alright, this you can just pull by a hand. Right, quite a nice little feature there. As I mentioned in the previous videos, now if you check out the link of how to collimate a laser collimator, I highlight in making a unit, this V-block. Now this is exactly the same as described in my last video. Now if you haven't seen that video on collimating the laser collimator, and this is the laser collimator here, alright, this accessory is exactly what I did, but this is a lot better. This one is a lot more rigid, alright, and as you collimate your laser collimator, alright, setting the screws, it's a lot stable and all that. Now if you haven't seen that video, please check out the video from the top, alright, and I show you how to collimate this laser collimator, okay. But again, with KT3D, they've made one and it looks absolutely fantastic. As you can see there, very good 3D printing there. Alright, I'm very happy with the results of that. Another handy little useful feature there. Again, they do replacement parts. So if you've got any lockdown screws like this one, for example, this one here is a typical lockdown screw what you get for your clutches for your for the deck axis and array axis. It also can be one of the lockdown screws on your tripod legs, or the lockdown lever for the counterweight bar. As you can see there, it looks exactly the same but in a different colour, and the actual plastic they've used is much more robust and it's a lot better than the standard Skywatchers. The next handy feature we have is this. This is quite unique. I've not seen anything like this before, but what this is a cable tidy bracket. Now, quite a unique little idea, smart idea that is, and what it does is enables you to feed cables through this gap here, alright, keep it in one place, alright, no need to use Velcro scraps or something like that. You can feed all your cables there, keep them nice and tidy, alright, and they're not going to get trapped between the axes of the mount itself, alright, which you don't want. Because again, if you've got any cables that's in the way and they get trapped, they will affect the tracking of the mount. plus you'll get tracking errors as well in the process. But I'll show you how to fit that in there. The next one is this. It was a nice little present from KT3D. I'm going to show you later on in the video what this is, but believe me, this is pretty cool. This. The next one is this, and at the moment we've been trial and testing this for some time. Now it doesn't look much to look at, okay, but what this is the polar scope adapter. Now this polar scope adapter is specially designed for this camera. Now I've mentioned this in my previous videos on the GP cam. Alright, very smart camera actually. It does multiple uses. It's a good mono camera which can be used for a variety of things, i.e. good for guiding. Alright, it's a very good guide camera. It's got the meteor lens at the moment, so you can take pictures of meteors of a wide proportion of the night sky. You can use it as an imaging camera, so you can take pictures of the moon, the planets, or deep sky objects. And again, there are tons of accessories from this. Again, if you've not seen those videos, please check the videos at the top. Alright, this is produced by Astro. Excellent camera, and to be honest with you, for a beginner camera that has multiple uses, alright, I strongly recommend this item. However, we have been trialing, me and Robbie have been working together to try and make this camera work in another use, and this is what this adapter is all about. Alright, I will show you later on the video how we fit it, but this will enable you to fit this camera onto this adapter and enables you to adapt your camera and adapter onto the EQ mount polar scope. And what this does was enable you to do a polar alignment without looking through the polar scope eyepiece, so you can achieve polar alignment. So we've been practicing it, we've been adjusting a few designs, I've been testing this out, and to be honest with you, now we've got the final product working as it should. Again, very good ABS plastic, very robust. Alright, it has nylon screws so it doesn't mark the camera, okay, but it will give good security. So trial out in a later date in another video on setting up, but hopefully if things go to plan. So far the polar alignment on this is pretty good. It makes polar alignment a lot easier, alright, using this adapter. So as you can see there, quite a few cool products that's out there which KT3D have produced. Now bear in mind, he's testing out some more parts, okay, he's making some more parts, some more designs. These are just a handful of products that you can buy now. So there are tons of stuff he's still working on, okay. It's a new company, it's a brand new company, it's just set up, okay. So KT3D, they do various colours, okay. So if you're one of these people who like to customise or super tune, you know, and start tuning up the mount to make it look nice, again they can do in series of colours, okay. You know, so the red and the black, you know, there's some of the colours they do, but they also can do white, green, blue, fluorescent yellow, any colours you can think of he can make for you. And I believe he's on about getting pink, so all the parts here can be made in different colours to suit your mount needs, okay. So it covers from the EQ3, the EQ5, the HEQ5, the NEQ6 or the EQ6 mounts, okay, and a variety of other Sky Ultra mounts at this moment in time. So any variety of colours that you wish or would you like to, please contact KT3D Cumbria. So at the moment, please contact his email down below. Alright, if you're interested in ordering some of these parts, okay, please contact that email address. At the moment he hasn't got a a website yet, just at this moment in time. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go onto my NEQ6 mount that I've just super tuned. Again, if you've not seen the super tune series of the NEQ6 mounts, again, please check out those videos at the top. Alright, I demonstrate how to super tune both those mounts. So far they're running perfectly. At the moment, still waiting for a good clear skies. When they become available, I will then get to show you how those mounts perform. But please check out those videos. Again, please like those videos, give a thumbs up, and please subscribe and share those videos out. Okay, those are really good videos, and they're a step-by-step guide, tell you exactly what tools and equipment and parts you need to do the super tune yourself. So please check those out at the top. Alright, they're very good videos, and they will help you super tune your budget mounts. They will perform at peak performance. Okay, so please check those videos out. Alright, very good. I've taken a lot of my hard-earned time to produce those videos so that you too can undertake these projects yourself, knowing with confidence that they work. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take a closer look, fitting these parts onto my EQ6 mount. So we're at the base of our EQ6 mount, and as you can see, we've got these standard Skywatcher screws. Now they're okay, they're not brilliant, but they do have limited amount of travel, plus some of these can be a bit hard when you pull a line. Okay, it's a bit fiddly to try and search for these. We're going to remove these first and show you what the replacement bolts are like. As you can see, they're just normal mild steel bolts, right? They're not particularly great, alright, but they're okay. So we take them out, and we've got our KT3D ones, okay? And what we're going to do is, as you notice, I just put a bit of grease on the ends, okay, just to lubricate the threads, and we're just going to carefully just screw in the replacement bolts like so, and we'll screw the ones at the back as well. Just work that in. So I've changed the angle slightly so you can see the bolts how they look. Okay, as you can see there, alright, because of the handles being quite big, okay, these knobs, alright, as you can see, it just shows you how easy that is now to move the EQ6 mount. So as you can see, very easy to maneuver, alright, not as difficult trying to use the standard Skywatcher bolts. Okay, these are so much easier now. All this does is makes pole alignment easier now, okay, with these handles sticking out. They're going to give out plenty of torque, okay, alright, very impressed with that. So as you can see, definitely worth the money for this. At the moment I don't have a price range at the moment. KT3D are still deciding on how much these will cost, okay, so please contact KT3D, alright, and hopefully he'll be able to get back to you how much these cost. So at the moment these replacement bolts are damn sight easier, okay, and as you can see I can effortlessly move that head, not a problem. Don't forget, this is actually tightened all the way down, okay, so I can now maneuver these parts, move the head up and down without any hassle. And then when I lock them down, okay, that's nice and sturdy, that's not going anywhere. So definitely would I recommend these? Without a doubt. After seeing how flimsy the Skywatcher ones are, okay, they're alright, but these are much better, and it makes pole alignment so easy this time. We're at this part now, and as you can see, see how hard that is to try and prise out the Skywatcher dust cap. Can be quite difficult. So you can prise that out, and this dust cap we'll put in there in replace, and it fits snugly like so. Now the good thing about this is, as well as being easy to pull out the dust cap, alright, plus you can customise all your accessories around there to make your mount look smart. However, the one good thing I do like is, like, if you've got power cables, like where you see, like here, the camera, see at the top, here's my camera, you can feed your cables through here like so, okay, and it won't get trapped in between the EQ axis, okay, between the deck and the RA axis. So this little handy feature will keep the cables here away so that nothing gets trapped. So it's quite a smart little device. The standard Skywatcher lock levers are usually good, okay, but sometimes they can be a bit flimsy, and I know that a few people have had problems as well. Usually they can break. Again, all is not lost, okay. You know, again, he does them in different colours. So we're going to fit the replacement part here, like so. Okay, because they're quite new, right, it takes a while to fit these in. So as you can see, slot in like so, and okay, as you can see there's your lock lever. What I've noticed with these variants, these plastic ones are a lot more bulkier, okay, and as you can see, they look pretty smart as well. So they actually look very smart as well. So if I just rotate the mount, and then look at that, that's good clamping force on there, and as you can see, the plastic's very robust as well. So again, being plastic, they're lighter as well, plus they look really cool, and yeah, very smart. I like that. So we're at the bottom end of the mount, and as we're going to remove the polar scope cap, again, at this moment in time, there are plans to change this dust cap, right, for the polar scope. Alright, I know these are not great. KT3D are on about making a replacement dust cap for the EQ6 mount. I believe they're also doing the one for the EQ5 mount as well. But again, we're at the polar scope end, and we're going to fit the cable tie bracket. And again, it's just a simple bracket. Alright, there's nothing to it. It's held in by a screw. We fit the bracket over like so. Alright, you're just making sure that this part here, the recess where it's secure, like there, like so. And then what we're going to do is fit the bolt through here. Just tighten up the screw. Okay, you don't need to over tighten it. Then what we'll do is I'll put the nut at the back. All that is just a retaining nut, doesn't need to be tight. And I just, where the bolt sticks out at one side, okay, like so. So that's now the bracket secured. So now, any cables like your guide scopes or your imaging cameras, you can feed the cable through here, like so. Alright, and that will stop any it will stop any cables from getting caught up on the mount. Okay, so then you can fix this over onto the camera or onto the computer. Alright, any power cables to the battery securely. As you see here, the cable's running off my guide camera and it's away from the telescope tube. Right, the cable now sits perfectly. Now, as you can see, I've got my guide camera here. The cable's connected up. I'm going to connect my ST4 cable. So that's my ST4 cable connected up. Now usually you can wrap it onto the mount itself there, but you can actually feed it underneath like so and connect it up onto the auto guide cable here like so. Okay, so it's nice and secure. The good thing is, you see like these cables here, you can actually double wrap these as well. So get the desired gap you need. See, like I want this amount of gap, you can double wrap this cable, fit it through like so. So you've got a bit of a gap here. Alright, so they're not going to go anywhere. Alright, and then you can connect that to the computer like so. So it's quite a smart little device. So all my cables will stay in one place, so they're not going to go everywhere and get tangled up. Now, one thing I have noticed is also quite handy with this cable stay is I have my Skywatcher Wi-Fi. Now at the moment, Skywatcher, you have to fit this cable for the SynScan Wi-Fi to work. So you're going to have to use this existing loom. Now I wish Skywatcher would make a shorter loom so this can actually just hang like so. So that is something Skywatcher need to consider. But one thing I have noticed with this device is it's actually quite good, so that I can actually secure the Wi-Fi through the cable stay. So again, I can connect it up that way, alright, and it basically keeps the Wi-Fi in position so it's not dangling all the way down, particularly when the RA axis is moving up and down like so. Okay, this has a tendency to get tangled up. So again, this cable stay actually helps a great deal. So when I'm rotating the RA axis, alright, nothing's going to get trapped. So quite handy device, that cable, that stay cable clamp. And again, even when I'm rotating the deck axis, again, if the cable's not sufficient amount of travel, okay, because you can double wrap these, alright, you can get the desired length you require, alright, without disturbing the drivetrain or the telescope imaging setup. Alright, you can do quick adjustments like so. So quite a Gucci item that. So it really has helped keep everything in one place. So I'm now going to show you what this is. Alright, I've got a bright light here and I'm going to shine this through. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to dim down the exposure. As you can see there, we'll shine this against the strong light, and as you can see, it's a 3D image of Saturn. Pretty cool, what, eh? Very, very cool. Now that just shows you what KT3D can do. They can produce not just parts for your mount, they can make three-dimensional 3D labels and stickers, and as you can see there's a 3D dimensional of Saturn. All it is just a sheet of plastic that's been printed out, and as you can see, what a fantastic image that is. Really impressed with that. So it just shows you how accurate 3D printing is. So again, he does three-dimensional labels and stickers and transfers. Alright, so it's not just mechanical parts for your telescope or your mount. He can make things like this as well. So that's really impressive. That I'm actually really chuffed with this. Really nice present. Alright, so thanks Robbie for this. Alright, so really impressive. Last but not least, we go to our polar scope adapter. Now again, this is all 3D printed, alright, plastic. It's got plastic screws as well, which are good so they don't mark your Astro camera. Now this adapter is designed for the GP camera. Now the first thing you're going to require is, if you have this camera, make sure that you've got the Meteor lens fitted. With the Meteor lens fitted, you also got to make sure that you remove this tiny lock screw at the bottom. Again, take that out and make sure that this lock screw is placed in a nice place so you don't lose it. Now all you have to do is make sure that this is focused with the polar scope, okay? And all you do is just rotate the lens back and forth. Alright, you see the direction of travel from infinity to the end position. So you rotate the actual Meteor lens itself to achieve focus. Now the good thing about this adapter is you've got to make sure that all the screws are all wounded out, okay, like so. You then push the GP cam through the adapter, okay, and then you just tighten up down, you just tighten up the lock screws like so, right? Don't over tighten them, just nip them up like so, so you don't rotate. That is now the GP camera secured onto an adapter, okay? It's held in central. As you can see there, it's quite robust plastic. Alright, it has to be robust. You've got to have this so you have no flexure. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go over to the mount and fit it onto the EQ6 mount. So as you can see, we're at the polar scope end, okay, and we're going to fit the adapter. As you can see the recess, you line up the recess through the polar scope like so. Also, that's lined up, you just tighten up the screws. Okay, that is now the adapter fitted to the EQ6 mount. Now the good thing about this device is what this will enable you to do is able to connect this camera to the computer using a USB cable, and what you're going to do is you can then polar align your mount using the camera lens, okay, to determine your polar alignment. And what I use is I use my Skywatcher Wi-Fi adapter. On that adapter there is a feature called Polar Align, and what that does, it gives you the position of the pole star Polaris, gives you the position on the clock face, because I'm using the HM5 clock face method. And what this will do is the camera lens will see the reticle and you'll be able to locate Polaris through the camera, and then you can then adjust the polar alignment using the Altazimov knobs, up and down latitude and west or east or left or right position lockdown screws. When you use them, once it's aligned and your reticle's aligned, you're then polar aligned. And the advantage of this method is that you're not going to appear looking through the eyepiece trying to locate Polaris, you know, and it is quite difficult. And what this does is just makes it a lot easier. Certain things you do have to do for it to work is just make sure that if you're not focused, you have to twist the meteor lens left and right and then push it in there. You have to sometimes orientate the camera as well so it's upright. Okay, so orientate it. Once you're there, okay, and you focus, you just lock it up like so. So that is your adapter in place, and again it's very sturdy, and that's what you want. There's no flex here. Here's the polar scope adapter, different angles so you can see how it sits. I've just unlocked the Ori axis. Okay, you can see the recess where you've got my quick adjustment screws for the polar scope reticle. Alright, gives you the gaps there so you can slot the adapter in place. As you can see there, it's quite secure. Okay, I'm wiggling this about. This is not budging anywhere. Alright, and that's what you want. Right, so secured. It's on there. It's good fitment there. And the good thing is, as you can see there, it sits flush. So as you can see, when I unlock the screws like so, good fit, and that's what you want. And that's a good tight fit. No free play. Okay, so you lock these screws in place. Right. That is now secured. So we fitted our GP cam and the adapter onto the polar scope of an NEQ6 mount, and we're going to go over to the computer, and what we're using is SharpCap 2. Now this is a good capture imaging program that I use. Alright, very reliable, and it can be used for many applications. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to polar line using that adapter. As I mentioned before, you must focus the meteor lens. So adjust the lens accordingly so that you get pinpoint focus. Okay, and that's the idea. So very crucial that you get that sorted out. Sort out the focus so that your polar reticle is nice and sharp. So as you can see here, I'm on my computer and I'm going to open up SharpCap, which is a capture program that I use. And as we go to SharpCap, okay, and through here, now our camera is already connected up to SharpCap, which means you just got to make sure that your Astro GP camera drivers are working. First we're going to up the zoom, because it's using a meteor lens, so it's quite a small field of view. So we got the aperture there through the polar scope, and we're going to up the exposure. Alright, and now you can just see the reticle. Again, it is quite small, so you still got to increase the zoom, and it'll give us a bigger picture now. So now we can just see Polaris in the reticle, but it's quite faint. So what you do is, like before, you up the exposure and the gain so that you get Polaris into view. Again, too much gain is you'll start to whitewash the image like so. So you just want to get the settings just right so you can just see Polaris, alright, through this image there. And then like before, once you get it all set, okay, as you can see there, I'm already polar aligned. Now, I use the SynScan app, which gives me the pole star location. So whatever position Polaris is in, I use the SynScan app on my mount, and then I just adjust my mount, equatorial mount, to where Polaris should sit on the clock face. And this method works best for me, right? And I do get really good and very accurate polar alignment through this method. Apparently there's another function on Shortcut which you can do more accurate polar alignment, but I can't go close into detail just yet. I'm just getting my head round this new polar scope adapter. So as you can see, it's quite faint, so I'm trying to investigate what's the main causes. Now I can just see it on the reticle, but it's not adequate. But at least we're on the segments according to the SynScan app. So something's not quite right there. So again, I've been adjusting the figures, the exposure time, and I still can't see what the problem is here. So what I'll do is, once I've figured out what's gone wrong, I'll get back to you and tell you what changes I've made. So after a few changes, as you can just see Polaris now clear. Okay, you can just see it's on the reticle and it stands out a lot more. Now the main problem with that is what I've done is I left the polar scope illuminator on my mount. Now because it was maxed out, I couldn't see Polaris. So what I had to do was switch off the polar scope illuminator so that Polaris appeared on screen. Again, I had to adjust a few exposures like I'm doing now to get the settings right. Now just be careful when you up the exposures. You don't want to make a time delay, because ideally you want to set the polar scope so that as you're doing your mild adjustments on your mount, adjusting the altitude and the left and right motions of the mount, you want it as close as real time as possible. Okay, if you have it exposure upped, then the main problem with that is you'll get a delay of the motion. So you've got to get it as close as real time as you can. So again, you just got to keep adjusting a few settings. So like before, I set my polar scope, okay, and I switch off my polar scope illuminator from my SynScan app, which you can use directly from that Wi-Fi unit through my phone. So as you can see, I'm polar aligned exactly as it is through the actual pole finder location on the SynScan app. So again, it's an easy mistake, but it does work, and as you can see with the results there, it's exactly as it is with my app, and it just shows you how easy it is to use that polar scope adapter, and it really does help and saves my breaking my neck trying to look through the polar scope. So that is the conclusion of my video. Alright, as you can see for yourself, Robbie has been really busy. Alright, and you can see for yourself quite a few unique products there. Personally, I'm actually quite interested in a few. There are a few things that I've come out with, which I'm going to help Robbie with to help improvise and or help to improve or develop new stuff. And the one thing is that I've noticed is there's a lot of budget mounts, I could really do with replacement items. But again, he doesn't just do component parts. He can also do transfers and stickers and labels. So again, if you're one of these guys and girls who like to modify to make their EQ mounts pretty, for example, make it sort of a tuned up look, okay? Again, if you like that kind of stuff, alright, Robbie will be able to make these parts to suit your requirements. Make your for example, your EQ mount, your Skywatcher look sweet. And the thing is that, I mean, personal preference, okay? I mean, I do like the red touches that's on my EQ6 mount, alright, and it does look stunning, it does look quite nice. But there are a few things I've come up, some ideas, alright, for him to start manufacturing, alright, to start testing out. However, this is just a few items that you've seen. Please feel free, if you're interested, to contact his email, contact his address, give him a call, alright, and ask any queries possible. So there are a few things I've tested out, and I'm actually quite surprised they used a high quality plastic as well, so it's not just any old sort of plastic, it's actually a high grade plastic he uses, and some of these components can take hours to make. So he has put into a closer in detail towards his products now, alright. And the thing is, you know, it's not just plastic components he makes as well. I mean, look at the Altosimov bolts, for example. I think they're absolutely smart. He's used stainless steel bolts, for example, and he's CNC'd, he's 3D printed the actual knobs themselves, alright, and they really are quite Gucci. You know, they really make the mount easy to move, a lot less stress, there's more torque on the bolts. Alright, it's not like with the you know, with the Skywatchers that you've got the small plastic bolts which are really quite hard to tighten and adjust. Again, if you're interested in these products, please contact Robbie and give him a call. That concludes my video. Again, please hit the like button if you like watching my videos. Please subscribe onto my channel. Again, hitting the notifications tab, okay, will push out my videos out more, and it will keep you in tune of any new astronomy projects or product reviews coming out soon, so you don't miss them out. Alright, so there's going to be plenty of more videos I'm pushing out. So again, thanks for watching, and I wish you clear skies.